Welcome to Australian Badge Guides by Mark Taylor. This video is one of a series about Australia's war memorials in which we use fundraising badges to further illustrate the memorial. The Burra Soldiers Memorial button is at the top right of screen. The Burra Fallen Soldiers Memorial is located in Burra's Market Square. The memorial was designed and built following the Great War by A.S. Tillett and cast by W. Dobby and Sons in Adelaide. The memorial is a marble column surmounted by a 2.4 metre tall bronze statue of a soldier holding his rifle with bayonet attached. The soldier, or digger as Australian infantrymen are known, is standing in the on guard position. The statue weighs 500 kilograms. The figure of the soldier was modelled by Mr. Wilmot of Messrs. Pitt Limited, also from Adelaide. There is a bronze wreath on each of the four corners of the granite base supporting the column. Shown here is the Krupp QF 77mm field gun, the QF standing for quick firing, with the serial number 12917. The gun was captured from the Germans together with 8 other field guns by the 27th Battalion AIF in the vicinity of Vafousy, France on 8 August 1918. A copy of the 27th Battalion's unit colour patch is also shown here. The 27th Battalion was mostly a South Australian battalion, and it included soldiers recruited from Burra and the local areas. After signing of the armistice, the Australian War Museum Committee was tasked with the administration and distribution of war trophies. It should be noted that during the Great War, trophy hunting was a popular pastime for some Australian diggers. Burra was initially allocated a trench mortar for its memorial, but following protests that such a trophy was unworthy of Burra's contribution to the Allied war effort, the allocation was revised in May 1921 to instead be the Krupp QF 77mm field gun with the serial number 12917. In June 1922, the French government generously gifted Australia a second Krupp QF 77mm field gun, this one with the serial number 18354, and the two guns were placed either side of the memorial in Burra. In 1929, the local council moved the guns, and this was met with protest from the community and the Returned Services League. During World War II, the two Krupp QF guns were once again removed from public display and stored. Post-World War II, the guns were moved to the entrance of the local copper mine. Then in the 1970s, they were once more moved, this time to a community school grounds and a local hardware store, before one was donated to the South Australian Army Museum, while the other was sold to a private collector, where ultimately the gun's whereabouts became unknown. Eventually, the gun was relocated and returned to the memorial in time for Armistice Day in 2018. As shown in this aerial map, Burra is a pastoral centre and historic copper town in the mid-north of South Australia. Burra also calls itself the merino sheep capital of the world after the type of sheep introduced into the area post-European colonisation. Burra is located on the creek of the same name, and the town lies east of the world-famous Clare Valley wine-producing region. A fundraising badge or button, souvenir or token, as they were sometimes also called, was sold locally in the town and district, most usually at the typical retail price of 1 shilling. Collectors further afield could obtain the button for an additional 1 to 1.5 pence for postage. The button badge included a metal back with a clothespin bent by hand for affixing to a hat, lapel or display cloth, as child collectors of badges were wont to do at the time. The button features a photographic image of the memorial, which includes images of the 2 Krupp QF field guns, together with a head of wheat and spray of wattle, indicative of the flora both cultivated in and native to the area. Interestingly, the button refers to the memorial as simply the Burra Soldiers Memorial, when it is today officially known as the Burra Fallen Soldiers Memorial, so named by the local committee formed to collect funds and organise the construction of the memorial and the honour roll for the boys from the local area and surrounds. The memorial cost £2,441, 7 shillings and 6pence, or approximately 212,000 Australian dollars today. The honour roll, bearing the names of only the fallen, was expected to cost an additional £210, with the names of 400 fallen from the town and district. Official visitors to Burra were also often presented with a framed photograph of the memorial. In 1811, Friedrich Krupp founded his cast steel factory Gustahlfabrik, but it was his son Alfred Krupp who attained notable success. The principal characteristic of Krupp guns was that they were made of steel at the time when everyone else still used bronze, cast iron and sometimes wrought iron. Alfred Krupp was introduced to the Bessemer process, which uses molten pig iron and the blowing of air to remove impurities to mass produce high quality steel, by his London agent and friend Alfred Longsdon in 1859. After a lengthy period of trial and error, this steel was developed to such quality that the Royal Factory of Woolwich in England acquired steel from Krupp to manufacture guns that conformed to British naval standards. By the 1880s, Krupp had developed an 88mm naval gun and adopted 75mm as the calibre for the Army's field and mountain guns. In 1897, when the French 75mm quick-firing gun appeared, Krupp produced the similar QF 77mm in 1903, and which was used by the German Army in World War I. For the best information about Australia's fundraising badges issued on the home front to support the Australian war effort, please subscribe, like and share. For further information about Australian Badge Guide books, including e-books for people living outside Australia, please use the links in the description box. Coming up, the Gawler South Soldiers Memorial.